It's our
Likewise.
first leverage mastermind, and I want to kick it off and get right into it and talk about really the whole process of admins. You and I did a little bit of a webinar last week that talked about the structure, and I think we did well, right? But I want to go in deeper because what's happened over the last year, especially, is that everybody's now thinking about outsourcing, right? Like for us, we're running 3 companies, and I don't think one of them is, but the other 2 are all virtual, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way we live.
When was the last time you actually went to your office, man?
Dude, I don't even remember. You know what? I went to my office to do a photo shoot, and that was it.
Oh, that's it. So yeah,
that was it.
You're working out of your home, right?
Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And our staff is all virtual. So even if they're outsourced to a different country or within the United States, they're still virtual. Right. And that's what I want to get people's mind wrapped around. Just virtual doesn't mean they're out of the Philippines, right? Virtual means
it can be anywhere in the world.
That's exactly. It, man.
Yeah.
So then let's break it down here. When it comes to hiring, right? When it comes to hiring an executive admin or just an admin person or somebody that's going to help you with social media, how do you go through this process? Because that's where a lot of agents and entrepreneurs fail.
Well, as you said, the pandemic kind of forced everybody to work out of home or even have the teams remotely. So when the March of 2020 happened, everybody started to work remotely. Everybody. So everybody is virtual simply because of the lockdowns or the health regulations, or frankly, I see like even when COVID is over, that virtual thing is not going to go away. It's here to stay. The reason is it's more convenient, it's more productive, and frankly, imagine all the unnecessary business travel that you're going to eliminate by doing that. So as far as like hiring somebody for admin or social media management platform person or whatever, it's basically like you were to hire for your company, like in-house, to be honest with you. The only difference is that person can be located anywhere in the world. Can be in the United States, can be in a different country, or frankly can be next door to you. However, with the technology that we currently have, that's been provided to us by Zoom, you can run a sustainable and highly effective team. We, for example, at Virtudesk have hybrid team. We have in-house people and we have people in the Philippines who are working with us. And but we are running very tight calendar of meetings and events and collaborations. So far, if I look at the way my in-house and outsourced people work, they work in a very good model where everything is highly effective because nobody's wasting time on cooler talk or, basically going to chat, going for a cigarette smoke, and there is no drama. Like in any office, office settings, usually there's drama. There's no drama, which is great. However, when you look, if you're a real estate agent, because I understand majority of our viewers right now are, where do you go from when you actually start to look for first admin? First admin, you need to properly outline the tasks that you needed to be done.
Yeah,
we do have a lot of files to share with you guys. I'm sure Tristan will be happy to do that. But the first thing, you need to outline the tasks that need to be outsourced. Those who don't have it or don't have any idea, what are the suggestions on doing this? Usually what I suggest people to do, sit down, put on a piece of paper, make 2 columns. And in the first column, you write down all the tasks that you need to be done during the day.
Mm-hmm.
From you wake up, when the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, what are the tasks you're doing as a real estate agent to run your business effectively? You write down this list, and then you go in the list, and the column that says done by me, another one says done by somebody else. Put a check mark, and put a check mark on the tasks that 100% have to be done by you. And in another column where it says done by somebody else, put a check mark there to kind of have a clear picture what can be outsourced, what can be done. And the way to look, sometimes people say, oh, you know what, nobody can do it better than me, I'm amazing, I can, I only do it myself, and that's why clients love me, that's why clients work with me. I usually tell agents, no, clients don't love you. They're not married to you. Your family loves you. Your clients love the way you work. Your clients love the standards that you set up for your company.
Yep.
That's what they love. Okay. So duplicate those standards, set up the SOP, and make sure people actually that work for you follow those standards. And that's how clients are going to love you, continue to love you. They're going to continue to love your brand. They're going to continue to love your company, because your people that work for you will be working under the same standards. Makes sense?
So what does SOP stand for?
Standard operating procedure.
Perfect. All right. So this way people know what the heck is happening. So I'm going to share a document here, and you guys created this for me. So people are asking, how did you have this made? Your team created this, right? And it gave us the 50 things admin virtual assistants can do for you, right? It can be as simple as answering the phones, right? To as complicated as onboarding, right? Welcoming new employees, and going even further in and creating more information, and also bookkeeping. I mean, people don't think about this, but here's a list of 50 things that they can do for you just to prompt you and get you going in the right direction. So we'll put a link to this one as well. But Pavel, I want to go in deeper into hiring, because one of the things that people forget, and you and I went over this.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
People forget is the ability to actually grow a company that's profitable and doing amazing with just a virtual staff, right? Mm-hmm. And here, the director of operations, you don't necessarily need to start with a director of operations, but it can be an executive admin, right? Which grows into that position.
The director of operations. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So last time you and I talked about lead coordinator, marketing manager, I want to go into a little bit into concierge and communication for transaction coordinating, human resources, and that. You have this position available for hire. How would you envision this position for a real estate agent or an entrepreneur on the concierge communication?
That'll be somebody who is responsible for, it's like what they had at the director of first impressions, I believe. Mm-hmm. Where that's the person who is quarterbacking the duties to the of reaching out to the past clients, making sure that your company stays top of mind, making sure that all the transactions that come in are handled properly for those clients, for the existing clients. Also managing the talent that's working underneath them, which means the transaction coordinating people, people who are reaching out to, like ISAs who are reaching out to past clients and making sure that you're getting the referrals from the past clients. Mm-hmm. Also, that person who will be responsible for bringing in new talent that they come in, and at the same time, if somebody's leaving, like we actually at Virtudesk have this person who is responsible for, like, when the talent comes in, we make sure they're properly onboarded, gone through training, and also when they leave the company, we're making sure that they have exit interview. We require exit interview for everybody. The reasons is for exit interview is not as much as for them. Well, it's kind of like for them and for us, because we need to know the feedback, like as far as why the person is leaving. Yep. And also why, what could be done differently. Also, this person is responsible for what we have a quarterly survey of the employees, because we like to get the climate of the company and see how our employees are feeling and see what needs to be improved, where they're happy, what's missing. So that kind of creates a culture of collaboration, culture of openness, that people gonna be more open to you. We make that survey confidential. We're using SurveyMonkey, I believe. Okay. We're using it confidential, but again, we get a lot of feedback that allows us to do adjustments based on the feedback we received. So that person, the concierge, would be the one who's in charge of all of that.
Got it. All right. So let me shift over then to some other place, because one popular thing right now is video, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
And so we have here on this side, you see a video editor just on its own, which I think the way the world is right now, if you're in sales, you're gonna need eventually a video editor,
You
right?
got to be on video.
And so when it comes to this, the video editing, I think a lot of people are like, well, where do I start? What do I do? And I think you hit it right on the head when you said, look, just take a piece of paper and outline what are the things that you need, or get a Google Doc. One of the things we did that you guys recreated, and I can't find it, but when I do, or if your team finds it, we can put it into the YouTube link, is you recreated this for me, your team did, and
Mhm.
you made it even better. But I started on a simple Google Doc. Can you see my screen or no?
Yeah. Oh
All right.
yeah.
So this is YouTube video upload for LCA YouTube page. This dates back to about 3 years. And I created it simply on this for our YouTube channel. And I didn't leave anything to chance, because when I talked to you, you said, look, if you want virtual assistants or any virtual staff member, or even your staff to function at a high level, don't leave anything to chance. Make sure that you outline every single little part.
Oh, big time.
So that's what I did. I started saying, okay, well, look, I'm not going to leave it to chance. Open up YouTube page to Lab Coat Agent's credentials, right?
Yeah, step by step. Exactly.
If
Step
my
by step.
son
Yeah.
had to read this, he could do this, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. You're not, don't don't think that you're hurting anybody's feelings as you're going in step by step. You need to be granular, because as you transition this over to whoever you're giving this to, like, you can see all of these steps and everything that we have to do,
Yeah.
including what the descriptions should look like, right?
Mhm.
All the way down to anything else. The thing is, as you give this over to your virtual staff, and in this case, we're still going over the editor, they're going to start adding to this process, right?
It's a work in process. It's always changing, always something. And again, the technology always changing, Tristan, you know that. Something new features come out on the YouTube. So obviously your video editor or the person in charge of video editing will be adding new stuff. Something comes up on the TikTok, some new feature that needs to be added to the sheet. And a good idea why to have a very detailed sheet, because you never know what's going to happen with a person who's working for you. That person can leave. That person can upgrade to a different position. You're going to hire somebody else. You're going to expand. When, let's say, you expand and you bring more people to work, you don't want to like waste a lot of time on basically training everybody else. So
Yep.
you already have this manual, so to say. So the person goes through standard training, a week, whatever, and that will be used as a reference. Anytime they have a question, they can jump in very quick to the manual you've already created, your company has on file. So that way they will be more productive. That way, because they can go check and boom, it's done. It's there.
I love
Exactly.
it. And
Yeah.
then you also sent me a guide. It's called the Your Guide to Leverage. You sent me that guide earlier on, and I want to share with that, because it's, first of all, it's really long. It's like 70 pages long.
Oh, it is. I know.
And it's good information, but I wanted to touch on a couple of things on there, because some people may not be exposed to what the possibilities are here. So
We
here,
actually will be more happy to share your guide to leverage. Guys, please reach out to us. We have it, and we'll be more than happy to share it with you. For if you guys attending this mastermind event, we'll be happy to provide it.
well, besides showing you, it's Virtudesk, right? Besides
Yeah.
showing you that and the culture, it also goes into what are the services that can be offered. And I think that's where people are like, well, what are the possibilities, right? That's why I created that graph with you
Yeah.
on the virtual flow chart. But if we go in deeper, it actually goes into what exactly they can do for us. And I think that's where I start loving this, because here are the 50 things that an admin person can do.
Yep.
So this way it gives you a place to start. That's number one. Then end of the day report. This is where a lot of people fail in general because we're not analytical by nature. Most agents are very expressive. They fly by the seat of their pants because that's
salespeople, bro.
That's how it is, right?
It's mindset. We're great at something else, but not exactly great at other things.
You're right, man.
Don't want details. That's what it's about, Tristan. Don't care
Hey,
for
Junkie.
details. Hey,
Junkie, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're actually jumping in on this one because
sorry.
when we look at end of the day report, most people that hire any staff, they don't set the expectation of what the end of the day should look like, right? Do you even report back to anybody to let them know what progress you made? Are you communicating with them on a consistent basis throughout the day? And so can either one of you go on your processes for end of the day? What do you expect your virtual staff to do at the end of the day?
I expect them to give me detailed information, yet I sometimes look at it, sometimes don't. But here's another thing I also do, Tristan, and I'll share more later, but I also I don't just abandon them. That's not what we do here. We want to make sure that we are talking to them every couple of hours, hey, how's it going? What are you working on? Or is there some of the projects that you need to focus more deeply on versus not? And what is the goal for today? It's a process I have of my own and has worked like a charm with our VAs, because at the end of the day, if I don't look at this report, I know that I've communicated with them throughout the day. And now I don't even have to tell them. They just text me on WhatsApp and say, all right, this is what we're working on. This is what we have done. Let's move on to the next thing. So it's accountability, right? It's also accountability for each other. They hold me accountable too. Sorry, Pavel, I had to jump in on this one for sure.